All right, this morning we're going to finish up the space spin-offs that we were talking about. Then we will watch a short video, and then I will hand you your homework questions out. You should have time, like I said, to finish them in class. In fact, you can probably get it checked in class, and you can have them over the weekend. Your test is Tuesday. Monday will be a day of review, but your test is Tuesday. It's another 40-question test, multiple choice, true, false. Just like your last one, okay? If you study for it, it should be a difficult test at all, it really, okay? All right, so we got down to consumer products, and it's talking about space spin-offs. And it includes many devices that are used in common consumer products. The joystick controller was one example. Barcodes, okay? On every product you buy at the grocery store, or another space spin-off, okay? It used to be a cashier had to actually punch in the numbers on these old cash registers and then hit plus, and it took forever to ring groceries up. Now all they got to do is run it by and just ding, 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 you know. So, pretty good. Similar barcodes were developed by NASA to keep an accurate inventory of the many parts used on aircraft, okay? So, cordless power tools were also originally developed for astronauts. Since there is no place to plug it in, a tool when repairing a satellite in space. So cordless rechargeable tools met the needs for work in space. Now, of course, they're very popular here on Earth. Other examples of consumer products spin-offs from space program includes scratch-resistant lenses for your glasses or sunglasses, really expensive sunglasses. Doesn't mean they can't get scratched, but it's a little harder to scratch them. And if they do get scratched, they can actually polish the scratch out a lot of times instead of having to discard the glasses. Okay? Freeze-dried food, shock-absorbent helmets, okay, for motorcycles, bicycles, skiing, all that stuff. Smoke detectors was actually developed by NASA. Okay? A variety of materials were first developed by chemists and engineers for use in spacecraft. For example, flexible metal eyeglass frames were made with memory metals. I don't know if any of you got that. I've got a pair of those that you can take those things and twist them all around. My dogs got hold of them and just had them I thought, oh my gosh, that's a $300 pair of glasses gone. I took it into the guy I got them from, and boom, he snapped it right back into place and buffed out the lenses, and they were good as new. Had to replace the nose pieces because they had chewed that up. Okay. The composition metal used in modern tennis rackets and golf clubs were developed to make spacecraft components lightweight. Okay. Athletic shoes that you wear might contain a shock-absorbing materials designed for astronauts' moon boots. Okay. The clear ceramic materials used for invisible dental braces was a result of research made of tough materials for spacecrafts. So they took it, molded it, and turned it in. They used that same type of material for the Invisalign braces. Okay? Highly effective insulating material was developed to protect aircrafts against radiation in space. And now these insulation materials are being used in houses, cars, and trucks. Fire-resistant materials developed for space suits and fireproof clothing is now used for firefighters.
Bunker gear.
Okay. Medical science has benefited greatly from the technology of the space program. Medical spin-offs includes devices that use lasers to clean clogged arteries in your heart and whatnot. Pacemakers for hearts. Okay. These pacemakers use long-life batteries originally developed for space power systems. Most hospitals are computer-aided images techniques developed for use on the moon during the Apollo programs. Okay, so you got all kinds of things that we use. Artificial limbs, the robotic arms and things of that nature. The new type of legs that they have that allows people to actually go out and run and things. You know, they don't look like your legs. You've seen them with a big curvy thing on the bottom. but it helps them, they're lightweight, it helps them to balance, and they can actually go out and enjoy stuff that most of the time when you had lost at least both legs, like a lot of people do in war and things, they just had artificial legs. They couldn't really, I mean, other than had to have help with crutches and things, they couldn't walk on those things. Yes.
So if you had no legs and you used those things and you were running, would you get as much exercise as you would if you actually had legs?
Yeah. In fact, the question was if you ran with artificial legs, do you get as much exercise? Yeah, you do, because you're still getting the cardio for the heart and the lungs. You're just not pumping blood through the legs, but you're still, but yeah, your heart and lungs are still working. Yeah. Okay. Satellites, when World Cup soccer finals is played, almost the entire world can watch. Today's hundreds of satellites are in orbit around the Earth, relaying television signals from one part of the planet to another. Satellites also relay telephone signals, computer data. Satellites are used for communication, for collecting weather data, and other scientific data. Observation satellites are used for many purposes, including tracking weather systems, mapping Earth's surfaces, and observing change in the Earth's environment. Observation satellites collect data using remote sensing, which is the collection of information about Earth and other objects in space without being in direct contact with it. Okay, remote. Think about remote control for your TV. Now, when I was your age, if you wanted to change the channel, your parents looked at you and said, go put that on channel 2. You were the remote. You went over and had to actually turn a knob to channel 2. Yeah, I know, it was terrible. My God, every time you wanted to watch something else on TV, you had to go up and actually physically turn the channel.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That would love to.
A lot of times you just watch the same channel even if you didn't like what was on because you were too lazy to get up and go change it.
Actually,
That's gotta be.
All right, modern computers takes the data collected by satellites and produce images for various purposes. For example, the picture up there right beside us, the continent of Africa, it shows vegetation patterns in Africa. Satellite data might be used to analyze the amount of rainfall over a wide area, or they might be used to discover where oil was deposited lies underground. Satellites are placed in different orbits depending on their purpose. Most communication satellites are placed in a geostationary orbit. Okay? Now, a geostationary orbit is when a satellite orbits Earth at the same rate as the Earth rotates. Thus, it stays in the exact same place above the Earth all the time. So that's how we can get communication and things, satellite TV thing, because it's not having to go out and just, hopefully the satellite is there. It's always in the same location because it is set up as a geostationary orbit. It's going right along with the Earth, okay? So all that stuff is pretty cool, and all of it got started because of the space program, okay? All right, hope you find that interesting. Have a good day.